Okay, the thing about wargaming is that you need a proper place to set up a battlefield and get your game on. Most of the time people are going to play either at home or in a game store. A Games Workshop store is only going to allow you to play GW content, which, that makes sense and everything, that's fair. But even if you go to a privately owned store, sometimes you can be limited in space. So say you have a store that you enjoy going to, and you already found that perfect place to get your wargaming on. There are also a ton of videos and web articles dedicated on how to carry those delicate hand-painted minis that you spent all that time producing, and how to safely transport them from your house to that store. Okay, I am a graphic designer by trade, so the whole idea of 2D paper miniatures are appealing to me. I love the design, I love the colors of them, and I also find that they are highly packable and portable. And if you have an idea of a new army, you can go to Army Forge, make a list, and build your army and bust one out in one night easily. So imagine being able to take something as simple as this and go to your local park, bar, bookstore, coffee shop, game store, and being able to quickly and easily set up a small skirmish game with your buddy. So yeah, of course I have classic 3D miniatures that you use for your typical wargaming. I have resin 3D print miniatures. I have your classic boys in blue for Warhammer. And I love those, and I'm not saying get rid of those. I especially love the ones that I figured out how to paint somewhat decently. But let me also show you why you also should be using 2D paper miniatures. Okay, so here is my book bag that I pretty much take with me wherever I go. I've actually just took this to the beach with me, and usually I at least have this locked up in my car whenever I'm out and about. Here is my laptop, my iPad, and these two 3-ring binders. This is what we're going to focus on. The first blue one is my Grimdark Future book. When we open it up, we'll find the one page of rules. Starting out, we have a few army lists built for the Blessed Sisters. I usually go into Adobe Illustrator and I'll reformat the list to make it easier for me to read and understand at a quick glance, especially in a dark studio or basement like mine. On the back side, I usually have the official OPR printout for a backup or just to double check something. And here are my first set of miniatures that fit into baseball card sleeves. Here is a Eternal Dynasty list that I'm starting. And these are the little flags that I've designed myself and I put out during my battle reports. And here is just a list built for the High Elf fleets. Okay, switching over, and here is my Age of Fantasy book, which is a little bit more impressive. Here's a copy of the rules that I can hand out to someone. And here's just a page about wound effects I like to check every now and then. And behind that is the AI instructions for solo play. So this right here is a binder pouch that you can find at pretty much any dollar store. And inside the binder pouch are Ziploc bags filled with free game tokens from one-page rules. And they are somewhat organized in their own individual bags. And here I have a bag full of a couple of sets of dice. These are the smaller ones. I can't remember what the actual size are, but I think they're the 8mm ones, maybe. Right here is another copy of the rules. And then a collection of army lists starting with the Duchess of Vinci. And here is the Human Empire. Here's a collection of OPR paper terrain that just happens to fit in these baseball card sleeves, which is pretty cool. Here are the Ratman, which I think you can see in my latest video or battle report. And here are the Saurians, which I think are in my first ever battle report. And also with the Saurians, I have some Saurian terrain from OPR. Okay, so this right here are some really cool block walls that I've gotten from Printable Heroes. If you've never heard of them, I suggest you check him out. I think he has a Patreon if you're interested in just more paper miniatures and terrain. And I'm pretty sure I've also gotten these trees from Printable Heroes, so yeah, check them out. That's really cool. And these buildings and houses I get asked about a lot from my videos, but they are designed from Dave Griffin models. And I bought them from Drive-Thru RPG. So like just go to Drive-Thru RPG and search Dave Griffin. These are objective markers that I bought from Amazon. And finally, here are some custom rulers that I've designed myself and printed out. So basically, if you have this book or something like it, and some sort of measuring device, like a tape measure, I'm sure you can get smaller ones, but I like to using these bigger ones that are a little bit less flimsy. And that's about everything you need just to get like a good war game going. So let's clear a table, and I'll show you how I usually set one up. So this is a little behind the scenes. This is the table that I used to film all of my battle reports so far. But on the underside of this is just a foldable card table. I think it's around 3 by 4 foot. And then on the top, I just have a few sheets of laminate hardwood flooring snapped together just to make this like pretty wood grain look to cover up the seams of the folded table. We're going to pretend like this is just a random kitchen or a coffee shop or a bar table, and we're going to set up a portable game without using a game mat. First, we are going to find the center of the table by measuring from one corner across to the other. This happens to be 64 inches across, so half of that is pretty easy math. It's 32 inches. This doesn't have to be crazy accurate, so like when you get a random measurement, just go ahead and round up or down to the nearest inch. And then if it's a crazy measurement that you can't do math in your head, you know, most of us have a phone. So we are going to take objective 1, and both parties must agree that objective 1 is just going to be the center of the table. If you don't want to use the center of the table as a objective, just, you know, you can use a small piece of terrain or something, but you know, everybody is just going to recognize that this is going to be the center of the table. We are going to start with 2 small pieces of small terrain. The golden rule of a lot of war games is to have at least 24 inches in between the 2 opposing armies at the start of any game. So we are going to measure 12 inches down one direction and place the terrain straight down from the middle of the table. And then we are going to go directly across 12 inches on the other side of the objective and place the other piece of small terrain down. Here is a 2D miniature Saurian. And here is a Ratman Battlemaster. As long as you place your units behind the 2 pieces of terrain that you've just set out, you have zones that are 24 inches apart to place your armies. Now let's go back to the binder and build out the rest of the battlefield. So there you have it, my personal portable wargame setup using paper 2D minis and terrain. I hope that this is somewhat inspiring to you. I think this is a great way for just people to hang out and meet up somewhere easily and do some wargaming. I think this is also a really easy way to set up demos to show people how to play the game, and an easy way to show how easy it is to get into wargaming in general. I personally would love to see more and more people using paper 2D miniatures in the future. The cool thing about your 3D miniatures is that you get to paint them, and in a way you get to express your personality through your paint job. And you can still do that with 2D paper miniatures to an extent. There's some companies that will, when you buy them, they just come in black and white, sort of like a coloring book, so you can color them in your own, or you can just find stuff on the internet that you can make your own 2D miniatures out of. You can also, decorate your binder that you're bringing your paper 2D miniatures in, and that's one way to express your personality. You just think about how awesome it'd be if you're playing at like a game store or something, and somebody shows up with an 80s Trapper Keeper with the Velcro. That'd just be ridiculously cool. I, of course, am not sponsored by One Page Rules, but because they offer sets of 2D paper miniature minis and terrains for free, just for download, and you can also download basic rule sets for free, I argue that it's one of the best starter games for wargaming that players can get into. If you haven't checked out the free paper minis and rule sets yet, or if you're just brand new to the hobby and One Page Rules altogether, go to onepagerules.com, and then go to Shop, and then go to Rulebooks/paper minis. This link would take you to the OPR section of drivethrurpg.com. Just browse around in there, and you will find army bundles for $0. There you can also find the advanced rule sets for around $5. But if you're just getting started, go back to onepagerules.com, then go to Games, and then go to Game Resources, and then you can download any of the core rule sets for free. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a like, that really helped the channel, and be sure to subscribe for future updates.